Ang galing nyo lumapit sa mga tao, ang galing nyo lumapit sa mga botante. Pag magpapanahon na ng eleksyon, puro kayo tulungan nyo kami. Tapos pag nandiyan na kayo sa pwesto, sino tinutulungan ninyo?
Mga maiinit na usaping politika, hihimayin at masusing tatalakayin.
Wala ba kaming maririnig sa inyo na na para sa bayan naman, puro sarili, pero kami mga tao, hindi nyo tinutulungan, yung mahihirap, hindi nyo tinutulungan. Walang iya naman.
Mga issue sa mundo ng showbiz, kikilatisin, kichikahin. Nang nag-iisang Batang Manilenyo, sino pa nga ba? Kundi si Batang Maynila Toits.
Alright, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan. Batang Maynila Toits, kamusta po kayo? Pakinggan natin itong update sa ICC. Ito pong si Karen Davila ay in-interview itong si Attorney Conti. Ito pong si Attorney Conti mga kababayan ay inaakusahan na bayaran dahil ang ginagawa niya raw ay sinisiraan niya si dati Pangulong Duterte. Alam niyo naman itong mga DDS kapag kinokontra mo Duterte, lagi nilang sinasabi bayaran ka. Pero ang totoo, sila naman yun. Di ba? Ito, pakinggan natin itong latest development dito sa ICC. Nako, marami tayong malalamang bago dito sa interview na ito. Kaya stay back, relax. Pakinggan natin tong interview ni Miss Karen Davila dito kay Attorney Conti, mga kababayan.
Recently, in an interview, you said, and you can correct this, you said you were pretty sure, did you use those words? You were pretty sure that former President Duterte, and this is in quote, will be considered as one of the most responsible for the war on drugs during his administration. When you say pretty sure, do you believe an arrest warrant will be issued against him? What is the state of the investigation today?
Well, right now the investigation is at that point where it is determining who is most responsible. That's the question that has to be established. We've already established during the preliminary examination that crimes against humanity occur in the Philippines. The Philippine government said, oh, maybe you forgo the investigation, defer it, because we will investigate. Later on, the ICC says, what kind of investigation are you doing? You're doing 52 cases? We step in again. And so it started technically in September 2021, reapproved again in January 2023, and it's been too long. So I think at this point, they have their finger on things already. And the name of President Duterte has been there in the OTP, in the Office of the Prosecutor documents, since June 2021. He's been named as someone who was enabled, at the least, tolerated, or even ordered or encouraged these killings. And so it's not just me who's saying that President Duterte will likely be looked into. At the minimum, there will be someone's issue. Someone's meaning, please come and cooperate with the court. But at the maximum, I think really there will be a warrant of arrest. And President Duterte's...
And when do you believe will the warrant of arrest be issued?
That's the thing. Actually, the process right now is confidential. The investigation itself is confidential unless you are the one who's being talked to. So that's why I think some of these officials might have the audacity to talk about, to confirm things from the ICC. But then, even the application for a warrant of arrest is under seal. It's confidential. And as I have discussed in some other interviews, no news is good news in a sense with regard to warrants of arrest. Because if they announce the warrant of arrest, it says that maybe there's no chance that this warrant will be served, as in the case of President Putin.
So are you saying that it's possible that there's a warrant that will be issued, but they won't announce it, and then you can have members of the ICC in the country and just arrest him?
So one... it's not just possible, it is the rule that a warrant of arrest is issued confidentially, secret warrant of arrest. It's only announced in certain instances when the court approves it, as in the case of President Putin, when there was no chance of him being arrested. So a secret, quote-unquote, warrant of arrest has to be coerced to members of the ICC. And this is where it could become public. So if the members of the court receive this warrant of arrest, if the Interpol, with whom the ICC has a cooperation agreement, receives a warrant of arrest and issues a red notice, then perhaps it becomes public. But from my understanding, the ICC, as much as possible, reaches out to the country where the accused is at, and cooperate and asks the police, the local police, to execute the warrant. It will not be ICC officials executing the warrant. The ICC has no police. It depends on the police forces of its member organizations.
Okay, so just an update on the ICC. You can correct me on this. As of the one I have here is as of June 2018, it has issued public arrest warrants for 42 individuals, right? I'm sure, is that still the number?
I
Thereabouts?
think so, thereabouts, because there were two warrants issued 2 months ago, I think, against 2 Russian
Okay,
officials.
now 6 of the individuals are already in custody of the court. So
Yes.
of those issued, you have 6 that's actually been arrested and they're in The Hague right now. So just very quickly, can you give me an instance of at least one of those who were successfully arrested? Were they arrested in their own countries, or were they traveling and there was no more jurisdiction of the country and that's when they were arrested?
Those 2 instances that you mentioned, that has happened, and this is not only in the case of the ICC, in other international tribunals or courts. There was one who was arrested in another country. He was president of his own country, traveled to another
What
country.
was that? Was he vacationing?
I think he sought asylum. This is
All right,
his worry.
okay. So he sought asylum, and despite seeking asylum, he was arrested in that country where he was
Yes.
granted asylum.
Yes, because things
Okay.
can change. In
Okay.
another African situation, the elections turned the other way. And so this accused was not protected anymore by the ruling party. And as such, he was surrendered actually by the country. I'm just not sure about his name, but this was in Sudan, if I recall.
Okay. So what happens, Attorney, I don't need to cut you, but we don't have enough time. What happens now? President Marcos Jr. has repeatedly said that we're no longer a member of the ICC. Do they still have jurisdiction, even if we're not a member, to arrest who they believe to be a leader they suspect of being guilty, even if the country is not a member? Can they still do that?
As to investigation, the ICC has jurisdiction over the situation. But as to arrest, it will really have to be the local police to execute that warrant of arrest.
If you're no longer a member.
If you're no longer a member. But that's a question actually that's interesting.
That's very good that we're discussing the process. Because this is where it gets very confusing. So if you are no longer a member, which we are not, the Philippines is not, if the ICC issues a warrant, it's the local police who has to implement the warrant. And for them to implement the warrant, is it right to say the president has to order the police to cooperate and implement the warrant? If President Marcos Jr. refuses, then stalemate. Is that correct?
Yeah, essentially that's it. Unless, and this is an option, we can move to confirmation of charges. If a counsel comes in and represents these accused, instead of the accused being in custody, they would voluntarily submit in one sense, and question maybe jurisdictional issues before the court. That's one option. And I've heard about a few of them engaging the services of counsel who is ICC accredited. As to this arrest, we've always maintained that, yes, it is a matter of political will, but we appeal on the basis of continuing cooperation that is required under Article 127 of the Rome Statute. Under the agreement that we signed before, it says that even after you have exited, even after you have withdrawn from the ICC, you have continuing obligations. And if the president reads the briefer, a fair and thorough briefer supplied by the DOJ, then I would suppose he would come to the conclusion that yes, we still have that obligation. This is interesting because the Philippines is only, I think, two of the second country to have withdrawn from the ICC. So this is actually new territory for even the court itself. What are the obligations of withdrawn countries?
Yeah, but then why should, the problem with the situation is the United States, one of the founding members of the ICC, I believe they're not even a member, right?
Yes, they were
exactly
initially.
Exactly.
And they moved out when the crimes against aggression was put into the charter.
Okay. So, but just to move on, just my last question is, there in another article at the Manila Times, it said that this was a May 13 article. It says that former President Duterte is actually not named in any of the ICC investigation documents. And I think it's important to say right now, just factually speaking, that this is false, right?
Yes.
He is named, specifically named. So this isn't an idea of posibleng si Duterte. No, he is in the ICC documents.
Yes, Karen, he is in the ICC documents from the report of the Office of the Prosecutor on the preliminary examination. In the request for investigation, he's been named. And it's inescapable that he will have to be in these documents because the materials that are available to the court, especially those which are reliable information, that's how they start. They start from reliable information. So really, the article mixes some true things, but some false things.
So that's the fact. So former President Duterte is named in the ICC documents. Is Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa named?
Yes, as well as Albayalde. This is in one of the reports of the Office of the Prosecutor, because they mentioned that they were the chiefs of police. I think the period covered covers also their terms. So we left the ICC March 2019. I think Albayalde was the chief of.
Okay. So just for the record, there are 3 names officially mentioned in the documents: Duterte, De La Rosa, and Albayalde. Is that correct?
Yes, and the ICC wants to look more into more mid-level police officers, and they've identified directors of the PIDEA, probably the drug agencies.
Okay, and you haven't seen these? You haven't seen those documents, those names?
Well, the names are in the report of the OTP, which is publicly available, but the actual, like the investigation documents, those are under seal as yet. We expect these to be unsealed or to be submitted before the court sooner rather than later, hopefully within the year.
All right. On that note, I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you for, actually explaining how the process will go if it does go in the next few months. Thank you so much, ICC Assistant to Counsel, Attorney Cristina Conti. Thank you.
Okay, so yan, napakalinaw mga kababayan napakalinaw. So mahaba-haba yung kwentuhan nila. So ito lang yung nakita ko na pwede natin pag-usapan at mabilisan lang ito. Total narinig nyo na. I-summarize lang natin ng konti itong sinulat ko. Unang-una, sigurado tayo na itong si Duterte ay nasa listahan ng ICC. Alright, yan po yung unang sure ball. Unang sigurado. Kasi marami nagtatanong, kasama ba si Duterte dyan? Kasama ba sa inimbestigahan si Duterte? Sino pa ba sasama? Siya yung may pakananong nung drug war, di ba? So sure ball si Duterte. Ito pa mga kababayan, isa pang katotohanan na dapat nating malaman at dapat tanggapin ng mga DDS. Ito sa tingin ko parang magkakaroon ng rito ng actually hindi problema. May konting conflict lang mga kababayan. Kasi base dito sa pinag-usapan nila, most likely ang aresto kay Mr. Duterte pagdating ng warrant of arrest ay hindi po Interpol, hindi rin po ICC, kundi local police. Local police, ibig sabihin etong ating PNP, Philippine National Police, ang manghuhuli kay Duterte pagdating ng warrant of arrest. Bakit ganon? Kasi tayo po ay hindi na miyembro ng ICC. So malamang ito gusto ko lang maging maliwanag sa lahat para maintindihan natin kasi alam ko litong-lito na iba sa inyo eh. So ito, dahil nga hindi na tayo miyembro ng ICC, sinasabi ni Marcos na wala tayo sa jurisdiction wala na tayo sa ilalim ng jurisdiction ng ICC. Sinabi rin niya ni Duterte, sinasabi rin niya ni Presidente Marcos hanggang ngayon. Yung investigation na ginagawa ng ICC, kumaga tayo, itong Pilipinas, although hindi tayo membro, under pa rin tayo ng jurisdiction ng ICC sa investigation. Pwede tayo imbestigahan. Kasi nakagawa tayo ng gumawa itong mga sangkot dito ng crime against humanity. So kahit di ka membro, pwede ka nilang imbestigahan. Alright. Now, with regards to implementation ng warrant of arrest, yun ang hindi tayo under jurisdiction ng ICC. Kaya nga, ang mangyayari mga kababayan, ang manghuhuli dito kay Duterte ay etong mga local police. Ngayon, eto yung tanong. Dahil nga sinasabi ni Marcos na hindi tayo under ng jurisdiction ng ICC, pwedeng hindi maaresto si Duterte. So, ibig sabihin, depende yan kay Presidente Marcos. So, itong faith ni Duterte at nung ilang mga sangkot ay nasa kamay ni Pangulong Marcos. Kaya magpakabait kayo kay Marcos. Etong mga Duterte, Etong mga kasama rito, mga dating PNP chief, mid-level officers, PDEA officers na nakalista dun sa ICC, nasa kamay kayo ni Presidente Marcos. Kaya kapag kayo pasaway kay Marcos, yari kayo. Kasi mga kababayan, di ba kung matatandaan ninyo, may briefer na binigay ang DOJ kay Presidente Marcos. Pag-aaralan yung briefer na yan, ibibrief siya tungkol doon sa ICC, sa rules ng ICC. At kapag talagang naintindihan ni Presidente Marcos, ayon dito sa interview, mangyayari, baka mag-cooperate siya sa ICC. Yun ang masakit. Kapag nabasa niya maigi yung briefer, mapipilitan siya na ibigay itong mga sangkot dyan sa drug war, isurrender dito sa ICC. Kasi meron na mga instances, mga kababayan, na gano'n ang nangyari base dito sa kwento. Yung isa nga, presidente pa ng bansa eh. So nahuli siya doon sa ibang bansa kasi ano siya ng asylum, pero binigay pa rin siya. Kahit naka-asylum na siya, binigay pa rin siya ng bansa na nag-grant sa kanya ng asylum dahil nga siya ay nakagawa ng crime against humanity. At meron ding isa pa na mismo yung kanyang gobyerno ang nag-surrender sa kanya. So hindi natin alam kung ano mangyari dito kay Pangulong Duterte. Depende talaga yan sa kumbaga parang Marcos is the key. Nasa kamay ni Marcos etong fate ni Duterte. Sabi ko sa inyo mga kababayan, titingnan niya ni Marcos yung sitwasyon. Kung etong mga ito, sila Duterte, ayaw tumigil, kakasigaw ng Marcos resign, hindi tumigil ng panawagan na umalis si Marcos, bumaba si Marcos sa pwesto, sa tingin ko, mapipilitan siyang sumunod sa ICC. Pero pag bumait naman, malay mo, kung talagang babait, baka pwedeng hindi niya ibigay itong mga ito sa ICC. And lastly mga kababayan, eto na, sino-sino ba ang mga kasama sa listahan ng ICC na aarestuhin? Okay? Unang-una, nasa listahan itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Isa pa, si dating PNP Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa. At ito rin si dating PNP Chief Ag Bayalde. At yung mga mid-level officers at ilan sa mga PDEA officers. So yan po ang sigurado na nakalista dyan sa listahan ng aarestuhin ng ICC. Kaya yan, abangan natin kung ano mangyayari mga kababayan. So sigurado na may parating na warrant of arrest. Di pa lang tayo sigurado kung kailan. Pero sabi ni Trillanes, pwedeng June or July. Pero sabi ni attorney, confidential daw yun. So abangan na lang natin. Kasi pwedeng meron ng warrant of arrest pero hindi i-announce ng ICC. I-announce lang yun nung aaresto dito sa mga pangalang nabanggit natin. So yan po ang latest sa ICC mga kababayan, kaya nasa kamay ni Presidente Bongbong Marcos yung kahihinatnan ng mga pangalang nabanggit dito. Naulit ko, sino-sino sila? Mga PDEA officers, mid-level PNP officers, dating PNP Chief Agbayalde de la Rosa, at itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. So lang mga kababayan, tutok-tutok lang dito sa Batang Maynila Toys sa iba pang updates. Ingat po tayong lahat mga kababayan. God bless po.